Let's see. Can you guys hear me? I think so. Let's see if it's dark on this side. I don't see anyone. I think it's
chatting.
Not yet. It's live. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure that I can be heard. Yeah.
Should I stop it?
No, it's fine. Okay. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Tina's Tarot. You all, I am literally like just ready to have like heart to hearts with everybody here. We're going to talk about heartbreak, getting over heartbreak, all the shit in between that happens when you're heartbroken, all these high and low ass emotions that goes on. And I have my own personal story to share with you guys as well. And this shit just happened. It was recent. That definitely like kind of shook me, or even just like gave me a new awareness to like where I really was on my healing journey, as far as what it is that I think it's okay to accept versus what it is that I am either reaching for, you know? So there was a lot. Hold on one second, y'all.
Yeah.
So there was a lot that was just really brought to light at this point in time, just about like going through, you know, heartbreaks and really being in love with someone who that you think is like your person, or the person that you're going to be able to build with. Do you know what I mean? And there was just like a lot of revelation that came from that. But before we get into all of that, I want to start off by letting you guys know we are going to answer questions. What's up there, Scott? How are you? She's live. Yes, I am. Okay. We are going to answer any personal questions that you guys have. Okay. If you want a personal question answered, you can look into the pinned comment of the chat box, the live chat box. So you guys definitely get in there, because I love to keep a live crowd going, keep the energy high, really kind of like jump around and just get into whatever the fuck comes up. Y'all know me. Anyways, what's up, Charlene? Long time no see. Hey, girl. Oh, all right. So anyways, we're going to answer questions. We are going to do, it's $25 a question, but we just going to get into it. We going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what you need to prepare for. This is my sister.
I was going to say she's
This is my sister, Victoria. Okay. She is my ride or die. We fight, we love, but whatever we do, we always go hard. And that's just our dynamic together. But she also reads. She also does readings. She does readings for me. So I trust this girl, okay? And if you all trust me, have faith in her, because I'm not going to send you just to anybody. But we're going to get insights from anyone who does purchase a personal question today. Pen comment says, send the 25 to the Cash App. Call the love line. Okay, it's a love line, all right? So you can call me directly. I will answer your question live if you're okay with that. And then we'll go from there, but we'll get into the nitty-gritty of your own personal details, your own personal situation, what it is that you need to do, your advice from your spirit guides, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk and make the best of this. What did Scott say? Hold on. He says, "Hey Tina, I was just about to ask you to introduce us to the sidekick." The sidekick is my sister. Yes, she is my sister.
Sidekick.
That's what Scott said.
Come for you, Scott.
Oh, thank you so much. So, so we'll both give insight into your tarot questions for you that you all have. We're going to do it basically on a first come, first served basis. I will get notifications on my phone. If you do send a question that you want answered, just let me know into the chat, because I can see that right in front of me that you sent it to the Cash App, and then we'll get you in line and ready. All right. But this is going to be a live chat all about like heartbreak. Where are we going? And one of the things that I was really led to say was, we don't necessarily fall in love with people because they're good people. We fall in love with people whose darkness we recognize. Does that make sense?
But it's more like your demons play well with theirs, and so it's almost mirror energies.
Exactly. And it's like you can fall in love with a person for all of the right reasons, but that kind of love still falls apart. And when you fall in love with a person where you feel like your monsters have found their monsters and it makes sense together,
Oh, that's like the dark.
that
love.
is a type of love that basically owns your skin and your bones. So it's within you. It's something that's hard to release. You can't let go of it. It's that type of love that will keep you stuck for years and years, you know, waiting for someone to change and not necessarily, you know, not necessarily being pessimistic about it, but really waiting for that right time when they finally catch up to where you are and what it is that you want. But hopefully that it's not too late, you know?
Well, they're all
Sometimes
just lessons.
They are lessons, but it's like sometimes I worry that there's something really broken in our generation because there's so many sad eyes, there's so many broken hearts, there's so much disappointment and unfulfillment. And it's like, I guess when you really think about it, it's like we're made of all of those people who built us and then broke us. Does that make sense? There's like this weird common sentiment that that person who cares the least has the most power over us. And how does that happen? And then what is power? Is it pretending that we don't care when we really do?
I think most of us don't have power over
Is it-
ourselves, and that's the problem.
Right. But is it choosing to walk away than to show another person that you actually have feelings for them? Is it indifference? Is it indecision? Is it ambivalence? Is it the dreams that we give up because we're too afraid to fail? Or even is it just like the people that we
Midnight
choose
sun.
to lose touch with because we are too much in our ego and our pride to let them know that we give a damn about them, you know? Like we care to know if you're alive. Like I miss you. Though that's the type of love that I'm talking about. That's the type of love and heartbreak that I'm personally experiencing at this point in time when I thought that I was over something. I thought that I was over something and it didn't mean anything to me anymore, only to be back, you know, in someone's presence and then realize that, holy shit, there's a lot of things that's left undone here, or I'm feeling some type of way. And really basically just asking, like, can you just give me something for me to hate you? Do you know what I mean? So that I can really like let go and move on. Because still there's this weird ass delusional part of me that wants to believe that it wasn't just me.
Charlene, you're right. It's totally insecurity within ourselves. Midnight Sun, Alaska, are you a water sign? Sorry, I'm like in love with the comments. I just want to know how you guys are feeling because it's definitely like we all have insecurities in ourselves, so it's definitely.
And
that too.
Charlene, I definitely feel like you really basically pointed out the biggest part of everything that I'm saying right now. And it really just comes from the personal insecurities that we're faced with and the personal insecurities within us from those childhood wounds that we haven't really healed. And so at that moment, like when I'm questioning myself about the type of love that I have for a person who could maybe not even recognize me in that same way or not even see me in that same light, it does make me understand that like I was asking for acceptance in a weird way, and I don't understand, like that's not normally who I would be. And I'm sharing this with you guys because I give y'all readings, but I have to be very honest with you and truthful with you. Like
we need readings too.
Exactly, like about what we're going through or what I'm going through at this point in time. You know, like you know, you think you've overcome something, but then when faced with it, you really realize that like there's still a lot of shit that's left undone that you have not dealt with. Maybe you've done a great job of burying it, but not facing it. And so, you know, me talking to you guys is pretty much just, I guess it's basically being like, you are not the only one going through this. We're all going through our own trials and tribulations. And I feel like it's the understanding behind it that will only be the thing to set you finally free. Otherwise, it's like you will be stuck in that same cycle of, you know, basically asking for validation for someone to tell you that you're good enough, or tell you that, you know, it was them and it wasn't, you know, you. Versus sometimes just really realizing that like it was good when it was good and now it's not the same way, and that's okay, because clearly like this is my spirit guides, this is the universe letting me know like you're not the person for me, and you have to be okay and accept that and move on instead of trying to control it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think we all need to fall more in love with ourselves than our traumas or our insecurities. And then we pick partners that mirror it back to us. And then that's like, you may not even know it, but then that's where a whole nother story and trauma begin. But it's really like literally about healing yourself and looking into the insides and what makes you tick, even the subconscious mind, because a lot of us we repeat the cycles because we don't learn the lessons. And that's like the worst thing, because you can be just constantly going through the same cycles, just not even knowing that you're reflecting, or the people you choose are reflecting that energy back to you that you haven't healed.
Exactly. And so like sometimes I feel like
It's rough.
that's those kind of connections that we can't let go of, is the ones that we see our demons in that person. So it makes us feel this light versus light. It's comfortable. It's the chemistry.
The connection.
What makes sense. It's like, I know you feel my heart and my soul because my demons are looking at your demons, like that kind of thing. So you're like, we have to connect. But the thing about it is that individually, those two people are still searching for their own healing. And maybe that person that you see the same thing in is just in a category versus not the person that's going to be your healer. Does that make sense?
The worst part is when you're trying to heal them, that person's not ready to, like, they don't even acknowledge it yet, and they're not ready to heal it yet. So like you're trying to get to another level with them, but it's like you guys are still on different timelines. It's more meant to make you wake up and understand that the person looking back at you is yourself.
Exactly. And that's just what it is.
But it's so devastating. That's such a crushing feeling.
Because if they were on the same timeline with you guys, like when you all say you had soulmates, you've had connections, like this shit was intense, it was chemistry. That is not just from attraction. That's one part of it. But what it is that you felt, that attraction, that spark, really comes from the genuineness of really recognizing yourself in that other person. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you see a part of you in them, and that is your inner child that you're looking at, that you want to help. Like, I just want to help you. I just want to heal you. I want to love you. I want you to do better. I want you to do better than I did. I don't want your journey to be as hard as mine, but you meet them in a different body. That's the crazy part about it. Do you know what I mean? And it has to be the understanding of if that person in the different body will accept the type of help that you want to give them. Are they open to it? Are they ready to do the work behind it? Because I know all of us know, especially if you are a member on Tina's Tarot, that like healing is the hardest thing you'll ever fucking do. You know, the acknowledgement of what's been broken, the realization of what needs to change. Like healing takes so much out of you. Like it's messy,
but things have to kind of be destroyed. Like, I know this sounds bad, but sometimes you have to feel nasty inside. You have to kind of destroy a lot of feelings and be at your bottom before you can like eliminate that and grow from it, or like elevate. Like things have to be destroyed before you hit that next level. So you gotta let go of certain things, certain emotions, certain feelings, with yourself, with other people, with what you attract. Like I've had to let go of a lot of stuff, and it was just like, I'm a water sign, so it brought me to my bottom. But at the same time, I've always stepped up after that. So you have to eliminate space for there to actually be something better or what you actually need in your life.
EDX master, I have to say, like, thank you for that, because you're absolutely right. It's better to focus on the path you're on now as a spiritual leader.
True.
And that is so true. Like, that's literally like what I have to double down into, versus really playing with a past that I know is going to burn me. It's like playing with fire. Do you know what I mean? And
when you know better, you have to do better.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just you choosing
But,
to stay where you're at.
you know, there was still that part of me that wanted to be delusional that maybe time has changed someone. But then when you face that in reality in front of you, like, it made me mad. Like, I was mad that I put myself in that situation and that I didn't even feel control anymore. And that's one of the things that you all have to know, is just kind of like, you know what, like, sometimes you have to know when you have to step away from someone, when you need to leave them alone, when you cannot entertain that type of demon anymore, because sometimes that shit can be so much stronger than where you are yet on your journey. And to entertain it again just really fucking opens a brand new wound. It slices you a second time or a third time, however many times that it's happened. And it really bleeds worse after that. Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you not be with somebody for, months? Do you know what I mean? But you sit in front of them, you see them, you feel something, it opens up something again, because again, you're looking into yourself. But then just to realize that basically the person that you're looking into is still a child, that they haven't grown, so they still come up like a page, okay? Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, like they're still a page. You've already progressed your knight. I'm not even going to say that I'm in king or queen status right now, because I'm still learning. I'm still going through the trials and tribulations that you all are going through, but this is just like my own personal story, because I know, like, damn, like, if I'm going through this, there's so many of you all that have to be resonating with these feelings as well.
But 2024 is literally the transition year, so a lot of people are going to be kicking the things that don't serve them, but it might, like, you might be having things exit in ways that you don't want or that don't feel well. So just like, that's what 2024 is. Things come up to the surface. We're supposed to leave a lot behind. A lot of truths are happening. So that's like what the year's calling for. And it happens to different people, especially, I don't know your signs, but different people in different ways. So I feel like I've heard a lot of different people going through so many transitions, especially depending on your sign. It's going to be a little bit different. But 2024 is like transition, resurfacing of a lot of truths, a lot of things that are hidden, a lot of clarity on things that we might have just avoided or not really paid attention to. So we're all going to feel uncomfortable this year, but next year is going to bring about a lot of change. So that's good.
Right. But the things that you're transforming and progressing from this year, or the realizations that you guys are really starting to become aware of, is the things that are going to transform our lives over the next several years. Okay. So that's why it's so important to recognize these transformations, these transitions that we're going through and that we're experiencing at this point in time, because this is what sets up the trajectory for the next several years for us, So I know a lot of you don't want to be going through that same hurdle. You don't want to be doing as much juggling as you have been doing. So that's why it's so important to recognize these things and then accept them, and then also allow those changes to come in. I am the worst motherfucker. Like, I will always, like, I hate change. Y'all know I'm a Sagittarius, right? Fire side. You're supposed to be very spontaneous, adventurous, outgoing. I'm all of that, but I'm also the type of person who is also very routine when it comes to, like, I hate change. Like, I don't really like change like that. Like, I like to know what I'm stepping into. Like, I like what I like. And that's what's kept me stuck in a way. Like, I need to just fall into who I am, like what I'm meant to be, and stop trying to, I guess, divert the mission of what it is.
Or have the control.
Or
hold on. So Midnight Sun Alaska, you're right. Childhood, like, wounds or traumas or things like that definitely shape the way that you view a lot of things. I tell her all the time, I'm like, dude, I love you, and she loves adventure, but I'm like, your routine, sometimes you have to change it. Like, you've got to change up the patterns, because sometimes that brings about different energy too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Charlene, are you still in here? What do you mean? You said that's why you constantly surge from that specific energy. What do you mean by that? Like, what's your take on that? or elaborate on that for me, because that's a real statement right there, but I want to understand it more if you're still in here, Charlie. But yes,
it's so slow. I'm trying to read them.
It's really just basically like, I guess it's really just basically having those self-awareness of where you are at that point in your life, and the understanding that there's much more to learn about what you've experienced and where it is that you want to go. You know, one of the things that I often wonder myself, I'm like, you know, I know like when it comes down to Christianity or Catholic, they, you know, everyone says like the Bible is, you know, you meet one person and that's going to be your forever person. But in other instances, I wonder, like, is that true? Like, is it just one person for all of us for a whole life of eternity? Or is it the fact of the matter that like we're always growing, we're evolving, we're changing, there's transitions that's taking place within us, and sometimes the person you are with is not on that same page, you know, and essentially it's diverting the mission of where it is that you want to go or what you want to learn or experience and know. So does that mean that that's okay to let that person go on their journey because you've only met them and taken them as far as where you can go, and to hold on to them would do both of you a great disservice? Do you know what I mean? So is it really just one person forever, or is it realizing and understanding that
nothing lasts forever?
We've loved each other, we've grown together, but now I feel like I'm evolving, and to stay here with you is going to hold me. Do you know what I mean? And then to realize that, but then accept it, and then understand like I have to let you go now so that you can get to whoever your next person is, and experience these things of growth or change or newfound experiences, and be happy and continue to grow. Like I'm a little bit ahead of you. Or is it the fact of the matter that basically you chose this person and so now you wait for them? That's a selfless side of you, right? Like that's the selfless love that you have for another person, that you love them so much that you are willing to give yourself up in order to make them happy. Do you know what I mean? So
Midnight Sun, Alaska, you're right. Like you both have to be committed to your growth. Otherwise you do grow apart. But at the same time, like life is always about growth and evolving and hitting that next level. So as long as you have someone that supports you through that, it's going to be, or you should be fine, but it depends on the person too. Hold on. So Charlene, the frequency from the other person you try to connect with, that's very real.
Oh my God,
when
you're
you
so
connect
right.
with people, that's what becomes the power signals, because we're all like, it is a law of physics. Like energy is not created or destroyed, it stays with you. And this is one of the biggest things I always tell people. Like if you're going through a bad breakup, or like that person has been around, their energy is still on you. I have a crazy story about that, but the energy of the person or people around you stays around you. You have to clear that energy, especially if it was toxic and negative, because it still sits with you. Even after a breakup, you can still sometimes feel like connectivity or those emotions from that person from afar, which is even more important, because I just feel like people in general, from a spiritual point of view, like you have to be careful with who you connect with on a physical level, because they can either make you or destroy you, especially if you're like an empathic person or a person that's in tune to their intuition and stuff like that. It could be bad.
Yeah.
Charlene, yes. I totally get
Charlene, that was like just such a valid point that you made right there. In all honesty, like that's exactly what it is. It's always that frequency, you know, like I said, especially like, okay, basically like when you recognize yourself in another person, it feels so comfortable and it feels so normal that literally like a part of who they are is a part of you, but maybe at different stages. Do you know what I mean? And then so sometimes it's like basically you change who you are to fit that person's narrative, and vice versa. You do things,
or transference happens,
or transference
connect.
Yeah.
And now you're merged with them. And that's what's so, like, it's, you know, on a spiritual level, you've got to break that first before you're actually on the physical. able to get rid of them or get rid of the energy or clear it from your life. Like, that's what messes people up the most, is the fact that the energy of that person still sits with you. Like, ew.
Yeah, and in that point in time, like, that's when you
It's hard.
have,
It makes it a lot harder.
you'll have basically soul connections, you have soul ties with, you know, whomever this individual is. And
Okay, but let's talk about this, because it's not just the soul ties. Like, from an energetic perspective, have you guys ever slept with someone that had like some bad childhood trauma, and then right afterwards you didn't feel good about yourself, or you were feeling really heavy energy for a while? For me, I'm like, that's transference. Like, when someone transfers their energy onto you, it's like when you have positive, healthy energy, and then you end up meeting someone that is broken, and they kind of leech onto you for the healing energy, like they feed off of you.
Mhm.
That's the thing that you have to be so careful of, because for the person that's, you know, essentially like alchemy, like transferring the energy and making it into something different or trying to make it positive, that's a lot for anyone to take on. And I feel like from an energetic standpoint, like, that can absolutely destroy you, especially in the long term of a relationship. Like, have you ever felt the feelings that your partner feels, but they're not yet communicating that with you? Like, that's insane.
Yes, like all of your energy is drained outside of you.
Yes.
Absolutely. That part is so true. Because literally, like, that's just what it is. Like, even having love and making love to someone or whatever, like, if it's
energy exchange.
casual, yes, it's that energy exchange that takes place between you and that person.
But you want to know what they're giving you, like what you're taking back after the experience. Like, I feel like that's what people don't think about nowadays, is like, do I really want to intermingle with them? Like,
that's the thing though, y'all. That's the side of it. Like, once that happens, like, once you make that decision to, you know, share yourself with someone else, like, basically, like, you are taking on a part of them, they're taking on a part of you, and then when they leave, they take that part of you with them. Do you know what I mean? So can you imagine, like, for all the people who's had like multiple partners, they sleep around a lot, like they womanizers, or you can be a hoe, whatever, you know, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I love the hoes too, but anyways, like, I just saying, like, it is what it is, okay? Anyways, it's like you take a piece of that person with you. You know, they take a little piece of you every single time. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, for every new person that you do share that part of yourself with, you know, whether they're there for, you know, a long time or they're here for a good time, whatever it is, it's just kind of like there is a little piece of you that they take with you. And depending on what type of demons that they have inside of them, their monsters or whatever, and your monsters, it's like, and sometimes you feel so broken and you feel so done and you empty, because you've literally given away more of yourself than anyone ever had really given back to you. Do you know what I mean? And then that's when you find yourself very stuck, confused, anxious, you can't sleep, you have insomnia, like, you don't know who you are anymore, you can't make a decision anymore. Like, it's all of those things. It's because you literally gave a little piece away, you know, of your soul to somebody, you know. And where does that stop? Do you know what I mean? Like, when does that stop? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you say? But the hard part is, like, today, the fucking hard part is that you can't meet somebody who is literally like on your page. Do you know what I mean? Like, love is such a tricky subject. Like, you can't meet someone who, like, they compliment you for a month, they compliment you for 2 months, they compliment you for 3 months, but on 3 months it's getting rocky, and on 4 months y'all breaking up, okay, you're having separations, he's gone ghost. Like, when is enough enough? Like, when can you just meet, like, the person that is about it, who's going to be loyal, who's going to be consistent, who is going to respect you, who wants to be in this shit with me for the long run, who wants to go through, like, the trials and the tribulations with me. I'm sorry, I'm getting on my soapbox.
We live in the city, and I'm always like, this is city problems. The city's different than just being out and about in the country or something like that. Different values completely.
Oh my God, Scott, you did. And that was your take on it. You decided to not exchange. That's interesting. That's really interesting. You have to say why. Why did you choose not to exchange with a woman? Because obviously, physical beauty is very,
Oh wow.
physical beauty is very, it's attractive, naturally, and you to touch it, get to know it, whatnot. Like, but what made you feel like this was not it? I'm trying to read like
It's really
EDX
slow.
Master. It says it's better to be born as a Leo than knowing what it is the
A
next
Leo.
step into life. Even do not let worrying get
Hi,
too
Crystal.
much. Where there's something wrong or after you be able to fix it. That's interesting. EDX, like you have to elaborate a little bit more on that because I didn't get the full understanding of it, but I feel like it's a powerful statement. So if you can explain that more, like I would love to really be able to dive deeper into that. Hey Crystal, how are you, love? But yeah, like love is just it's one of those very tricky subjects.
A Leo. There's a lot of Leo energy here.
But one of the other things that I truly do feel is, like I said, in the beginning of this, is just like I don't really feel like we fall in love with people because they're good people. I think we fall in love with people because of the fact that like our traumas recognize theirs. But at the end of the day, it always comes down to like how much of this can I take? So literally like what that's saying is like how much of myself can I take? How much of me is okay with this?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what you can tolerate.
It is what you can
longevity,
tolerate. Like it is what you can tolerate, but at the same time, like when we're speaking on, the hierarchy of what love is, to really be in love and be selfless with someone and really love that person unconditionally for everything that they are and everything that they are not. Because we all know love is not perfect. Like love is going to come with its fucking problems and it's going to test you. Like how much do you love this individual? How long, how much do you love them to be by them, like when they are sick, when they are broke, when they don't have no job, like how much do you love them to tolerate their family that you cannot stand? How much do you love them in order to want them to do better? Okay. How much of you can you give up to stay with the person that you say that you love? Do you know what I mean? People want to throw around love all the time, but no one understands like the depth of love. It's so much deeper. It's like it's a selfless act.
Love is commitment, and it's subjective to every person.
Like love
is. I honestly want to
say,
like,
people today has like viewed love as transactional. People today have viewed love as
So have we, Crystal.
People today has viewed love as temporary. People has viewed love today as casual. People have viewed love as just a good time. Like that's how they view it. But all that stuff is very temporary. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, when I say like I'm looking for my person, like I know that I'm so much of a like I'm a powerhouse. That's how I feel about myself. Like I'm a powerhouse, but I need to have that partner with me that we are going to annihilate together. Like, no matter what, like this person has your back, like through thick, thin, whatever. Like we got one another. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, when I love, like I love to the fucking 10th power. There is no loving less than that. Like you get everything. Like you
don't want to love like that too many times because you might end up going to jail
or to the mental institution. So that's why you can't love like that all the time. But I know that that's the type of love that I give. Do you know what I mean? So
as a Leo, we love big. You love big, but you fall hard too when you do. So you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah.
Also, love can be an opioid and can cover up my own issues yet to be dealt with. That is so true. Like, that's a very power move to be able to see that about yourself and make the right decision, because I feel like we're just living in a society where people don't.
So basically, like, what are you saying? Like, love is an addiction?
Yes.
It is an addiction.
Absolutely.
Like, it is an addiction. Like, for me, like, I love the high highs of love. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like, babe, like, when we meet, like, we're going to be up here, babe. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're staying up here. Do you know what I mean? And then, like, when we start to fall down here, like, I get worried, you know, I'm nervous, anxious, things like that, you know, and a lot of the times, like, what I've experienced in my love life is a lot of high highs and severe low lows. Like, oh my God, like, somebody call the doctor, call the cops, something.
But she never felt more alive.
But I never felt more alive. So those are my demons. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I have to get put in check when it comes to, like, the way that I love. Do you know what I mean? You know, one of my friends, good friends, he told me, he said, Tina, like, you know, when you love, you always want to stay up here. Do you know what I mean? And then when things start to drop and they become, you know, down here, like, you get bored, you feel stuck, you feel like they're falling out of love with you. But it's like, what is it inside of Tina that she feels like love is not exciting anymore if it's not up here, you know? Like, why can't we just be down here and fucking chill? Do you know what I mean? So that's one part of me that I'm trying to, you know, understand more of myself. Why is that the only type of love that I feel like that's who I connect with? And everything else that's not that, like, we don't have a chance in hell. Do you know what I mean? And that's the sad part about it, because I've met a lot of good men in my life, but unfortunately, who I am as a person I can't accept them for how amazing they are, because that's just not whatever my demons are looking for. So there is no chemistry. There is no attraction. It's that type of thing. But what is chemistry, right? Like, I guess that's another question. What is chemistry, guys? Like, is chemistry, like, is it just physical? Is it just attraction? Is chemistry, you know, just like, do you have to just want to, like, pull their clothes off, like, right away when you meet them because you're physically attracted to them? Does that equal chemistry? Or is chemistry communication, but maybe not necessarily, like, in the same shell? Like, I don't know.
I want to know how many of you guys are on your own healing journey. Like, things have changed so much. Like, how many of y'all, put it in the chats, like, if you guys are on a healing journey, or like where you're at here, like where you've already hit. Because this is like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like when we're younger, we make so many mistakes that we fall dumb to a lot of these issues, and that's where we get caught, sometimes trapped at. But it's like,
trapped, that's a good word.
In your own healing journey. How do you trust your third eye? Oh my God, we should always trust our third eye. I feel like life kind of programs us to not actually trusting our intuition, and that is where we fall wrong. Like, I've made so many bad decisions because I went against what I thought was like my first thoughts or my first feelings about it, because you doubt yourself. Like, the way that the matrix of life is, it programs you to be desensitized to, like, us naturally being, like, energetic, spiritual beings. And I feel like you have to go back to that if you want to find, like, some true peace in your mind and your heart.
That is very true. That the thing about it is, though, like, I feel like society has really taught us not to trust in our third eye. Mm-hmm. You know, society has really incorporated in us from young children to not trust our instincts and to really either work out of fear or live out of fear, love out of fear. Like, that's what I've seen happen. And in those types of mindsets or ways of thinking, like, we've lost, like, our true innate humanity and connection to source. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've lost our connection to the universe because we've been taught how to live in a fear-based way. You know what I mean? So, and in even in other circumstances, like, even when it comes down to, like, the societal norms, like, do we really feel less good about ourselves because of the fact that, like, I'm not married by the time that I'm, 25, 26, 27 years old. Like I don't have kids by the time that I'm 30, 32 years old. Like, like that's the societal norm that says that, like, okay, check marks the spot, like check this box, you made it, okay, like you did those things the way you were supposed to do, you went to college, you got a degree, like all of that, right? But that's just like what we're taught. But why are all those marriages like falling apart? Why are all those people getting divorced? Why does college not seem to be beneficial? Because you start your life off in debt. Like, who does that, right? That's some dummy ass shit, right? So
Depends on what you want to be.
I mean, like if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, but like who in their right mind was like, hey, let's, go get into $150,000 in debt, maybe more, to start our fucking fresh life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that'd be great. So like, who comes up with those ideas? Like, that's societal's norm in order to create control. And if there's one thing that we have to remember, is the fact of the matter is, like, you cannot control everything, but we are almost taught to be fearful of what it is that we cannot control, right? And in all honesty, it's supposed to be more or less just kind of being open to an experience, being open to releasing your control and trusting in your higher power to keep you on the right path or the right direction, or to take you where it is that you need to be, right? But I almost feel like we're like, since kids, we're taught against everything that we've already been born with. Do you guys feel me on that?
Well, it depends, because I want to say the Gen Zers are really showing us how we should feel about things. And I hate to say this, but I'm very, like, I feel thankful about it. Like, Gen Zs are kind of like, no, why the hell do I have to, like, be at a job I hate? Like, it makes you think differently about
Scott, you're right. Like, there is an excellent partner for your person. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when you do find that person, like, it's going to be magnetic as hell. It's going to be flourishing, and it's going to make sense, And Charlene, I agree with you when you say, like, you're still working on your trust issues. Girl, I'm working on mine too, and everybody else is working on theirs. Like, we've lost trust in love. We've lost trust in
the society
and forever. We've lost trust in a way where we've all been kind of forced to only depend on ourselves and be let down by the people that, like, we thought we should trust. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going through their own trials and tribulations. Like, so we're all working on trust, Charlene. He said, hold on, EDX says, I should be careful even if it's powerful for the mind and awakening. I want to unlock the power of the third eye. EDX, like, to be honest with you, like, that third eye, like, literally is your window to the world. It's right here in the middle of our forehead. That's our third eye. That is what's there to really kind of basically be like your evil eye, essentially, like, so that you can repel the darkness. That is there to be like the thoughts that are placed within you and in your body and your cells and your soul, whatnot. Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, when you are truly open to that third eye and you're really in tune with who you are, like, all of those senses are going to come together, and your third eye literally will guide you. And that is the reason why we had the cups in the tarot, the emotions, you know what I mean? Like, because it's your third eye that sees it, it feels it, it senses it, like, and then it also puts the thoughts back into you that you are going to essentially manifest. You know what I mean? So that is why it's so important to really, get into your third eye, really open up that third eye, because that's what's going to be your senses. That's what's going to affect emotions. That is what is going to affect your thoughts. It's going to affect your actions, because we all know that your thoughts affect your actions, right? And at the same time, it's also going to be what also allows you to build something that's secure, safe, and stable. Do you know what I mean? So third eye awakening is a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And a lot of us need to do more in order to really become in tune with who we are. Your third eye is who you are. It's how you see the world. It's how the world sees you. It's your awareness of the world around you. And that's what we're so disconnected from. And that's one of the reasons why we have all of these conflicts and traumas within around us. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not open to our third eye. We're listening to, you know, essentially basically what society says is the right thing to do. And oftentimes it's literally like taking us off our paths.
Okay. But,
and oh my God, what's up, Josh? I have not seen you in the live in forever. How are you? He said all relationships go through hell. Real relationships get through it. Sometimes how you deal with relationships shows your maturity. You're exactly right. But maturity is like the key word in that whole phrase, Josh, because the thing about it is just like maturity comes from growth, right? It comes from experience. It comes from accepting the things that, you know, didn't outwork. It comes from wanting to understand why something didn't work. It comes from wanting to do better. That's maturity. But the sad part about that is, Josh, that so many people are afraid to mature because they are afraid to leave where they are now.
I think it's also like
because where they are now is comfortable. To be mature means you got to get uncomfortable. To be mature means you have to face your challenges head on and not keep a bunch of loose ends open. So, you know, that's maturity. Maturity is standing up to what you did wrong. Maturity is taking accountability. Maturity is accepting the responsibility that was on you for not doing enough. But not everybody can do that because that's the hard shit, right? You feel me? Does that make sense, y'all? I'm sorry, like I'm speaking from my heart, speaking the truth. Yeah. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome. Sending love right back at you. And exactly, Charlene, that is exactly why boundaries are imperative. Absolutely. Because without boundaries, everybody and their mama's going to walk over you. Like, you can be out here giving the most, and then eventually, like, without your boundaries, like, you'll realize that you don't have nothing else to give. That's the shit that, without boundaries, that's what's going to make you bitter. That's what's going to make you hate. That's going to make you, you know, manifest bad things. Do you know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is, it's just like, you know, having boundaries is just basically understanding your own self-worth. Mm-hmm. Scott, you're hilarious. Stop it.
Who is EDX? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's a regular. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like love is an everlasting. Love is like an everlasting growth of a person. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the everlasting growth of an individual, and how far are you open to go in the depths of what love really is in order to truly experience it in its fullest form and purest form, you know? Because I think like the ideas of love that we have are very superficial. I think they just touch the surface, and then everything that's not that means that we have a problem, right? But like, when you really understand what love really is, like, you will understand that sometimes it's not beautiful. Sometimes
it's supposed to be transformational, because you have to go down into the deep, dark depths of your own soul to make that connection, or to understand the other person, to understand some of the challenges that you have with them. And a lot of times, so many people are not willing to do that, and that is
Thank
why
you,
the
Scott.
connection never works.
Thank you, Scott. I can. You know, when I go down this rabbit hole of mine that's in my head, like, there's a lot of crazy things and wild things and new understandings and ideas that come out of this head. This is one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't connect with a lot of people, okay? Like,
you've got to go down the rabbit hole. So
you gotta be able to
some
come down
degree.
that rabbit hole with me. Like, let's go, okay? You're like,
cheers.
yeah.
I'm off, so.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Happy hour. This tastes like water.
Really. I'm sorry. Oh my god, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I thought it was strong.
Mm-mm.
I could put more in your drink.
I think it's a club soda. Like, I just don't like it. But yes, you know, like, I don't know, guys. I feel like in some weird way, thank you, Josh. This is a very deep conversation. In some way, I do feel like in order to really experience like the depths of what, you know, love is and self-acceptance and things like that, like I feel like in some ways, like you have to go through that heartbreak with your person. Like you have to go through those trying times with them to see like what you all are made of, you know, as a unit, as a partnership, you know, as you're growing together, like how you're going to overcome challenges, because that's all they are. You know, the thing about it is, like with love, a lot of the times, like people today, they don't feel the need to they don't really feel the need to really work on anything anymore, because everybody wants it to be quick, they want it to be fast, and they want it to be easy. Do you know what I mean? But love is not easy. Like when you really touch real love, like it's not easy.
Because no one wants to dig the depths of their own soul. A lot of people are uncomfortable with actually understanding themselves. A lot of people are uncomfortable with actually going through their past. A lot of people are uncomfortable with sitting with themselves, and that is the problem, because we choose a lot of people sometimes that are not there or not ready or will never be. And we live in a world of distraction, so everyone's comfortable with being distracted from themselves.
Right.
And that will never get them anywhere. They stay stuck, and they're fine with that because it's so much easier to be distracted than it is to actually heal or grow or elevate yourself.
Right. And you know, like the other thing too is like a lot of people think that like social media was a good thing. And in a lot of ways, like I feel like social media is the reason why like love has taken a turn for the worse. I mean, you didn't hear this. Like you didn't hear as much pain and suffering and depression and sadness and anxiety and worry that you hear about now.
Okay, but hold on. So our parents' generation, all of that was like the hush-hush generation. So you're not going to hear that because everything is like, you don't talk about your business. You don't say these things. You don't say inappropriate things. You don't talk about your feelings. So it's like, yeah, now we don't hear about that because the generation was to like zip it and just deal with it. So it's different because this generation talks about everything.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to talk about everything for sure. But what this generation is not understanding that like this generation doesn't understand what it is to like have a commitment to anything because it can always change something up real quick. That's the problem. Like that's the social side of what has happened in the love department, if that makes sense. Basically,
love isn't a focus anymore.
No, it's not really a focus. It's for like, it's what you could get right then and there. It's what you need in that moment. It's a quick fix. Like, you know, like when you have an addict on your hands and they're like, I just need a hit or I just need a fix real quick. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a quick fix to the next thing. Because when you're not working out, the next thing is going to hit that fix. It's still never going to be enough because we're never really going beyond the surface, but it's gonna get the fix or the itch or whatever it is that you have. Like it's gonna get that done with. Do you know what I'm saying? So
we're all just, the society in general is just so plugged into the system that we're so detached from things that should come natural to us. connection, feeling, emotion, intuition.
So, you know,
It's
to be
fine.
honest with you, Scott, when you say, where does your love come from? Is it out of your own broken self, or does my love come from a source greater than myself, perfect and bottomless? You know, to be honest with you, Scott, like, your love comes from the love that you felt that you didn't receive. Your love comes from what it is that you want for yourself, that you want that other person to be able to mimic or give back. And oftentimes your letdown comes from the fact that, like, that person is not able to give you back the love in the same way that you've given it to them. And that is where your heartbreak comes from. Because, you know, you probably are the type who is very much so, you're giving. You're the type who wants to make sure, you know, they're okay. You're the type that's like, hey, we only have this much food, but I'm not going to eat today because I want to make sure that you get something in your stomach. Do you know what I mean? Like, your love is like that. It's a selfless type of love. And you only hope in return to get that same type of love back from the other person, only to be heartbroken when that person can't love you in the same way, or they don't show you that love in the same way. And that is what breaks you. And then when you feel like, I've given so much, I've invested so much, and I try to show you how much of a good person that I am, and that person's still not receiving you or accepting you for all the greatness and the goodness that you are and what you bring to the table. But nonetheless, that person wants to criticize you. They want to talk down to you. They want to not be enough. They want to give you half-ass.
Well, when you choose the
why.
wrong ones, there are people you can grow with. But wait, I have a complete opposite opinion on this. When you say, does my love come from a source greater than myself, perfect and bottomless? It's very possible that it could. My whole, like, a lot of my spiritual practices and what I've discovered in a lot of ways is I truly feel like we are here in this life to discover, like, source and the God that's within us. I believe that God put such potential, such infinite divine connection within us, and we're actually here to, like, manifest our own potentials. I feel like that is the journey and struggle of life in general. And so, yeah, we do experience a lot of bottoms, a lot of, you know, bad things, negative emotions, but to everything that is negative or positive, it has a greater experience. You cannot understand or appreciate love without being completely traumatically hurt or experiencing the pain of heartbreak and not knowing what those things were. It makes love that much greater. Like, there's a balance of both good and bad that has to happen in your life, and an understanding of what that is and how you can connect to that. I feel like we're supposed to be here to experience, like, the God that is within us and all of those emotions that come with it. So for me, like, when you're saying, like, is the love that you're feeling for yourself from source, it absolutely could be, because you feel that deeper, divine, infinite connection within yourself. And a lot of times we all do, but we're detached from that because it's everything that we're experiencing in our outer world that removes us from what we're supposed to be feeling and connected with within. Just have to say that, because I've been all over the world in a lot of different ways and experiences, and I've felt so detached, and I've never been actually able, or more myself, with actually, like, focusing on what matters. My intuition has been heightened. A lot of different things have happened when you really tap into yourself. And I am totally one of those, like, I'm all about the pineal gland and, like, all how you can stimulate it, how you can actually see from your third eye. So there's a lot of different things. Our opinion's just a little different. I had to say that.
What do you mean, EDX, when you said it's better to find mysteries that have true events than the supernatural? What do you mean? That's I don't understand that comment at all.
Well, the supernatural is mystery, so we're all still trying to uncover it. But explain it.
I'm lost. I'm trying to understand what that means.
It's better to find mysteries than true events and supernatural. So I don't know. For me, I feel like it's all supernatural. Like, science has proven that energy still stays around. There's a lot of laws of physics that actually proves, like, the energetic principles of, like, people or energy being, you know, like, alchemized or transmuted into something else. So for me, you know, a lot of people may not feel that there is a supernatural principle to things, but I just truly do. I've felt it, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of things that make me know that there's definitely more to just what we're seeing or what we believe things to be. I'm one of those conspiracy theorists, though. I don't want to like ever feel as if I'm being brainwashed, and there's a lot of facts that prove that like a lot of things they do is almost brainwashing. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Don't go down the rabbit hole now. Don't go down that.
I really want to go. Okay. I'm really not gonna
when you go down the rabbit hole, honestly, that's when you'll learn the most. It'll give you new perspectives, different enlightenments. It will really allow you to grow as you ask yourself the hard questions. You know what I mean? And be open and prepared to either get enlightenment that's hard to accept. Like, that is the rabbit hole, and that is what makes life beautiful. It's the learning of
exploring
what
mysteries
you never really knew. And so yes, that goes down back to EDX. Okay, it's about like the beautiful part of life is exploring the mysteries of what is misunderstood or not understood, and being able to accept it for what it is, gain new enlightenment, and have a new perspective on something, or just maybe a shared experience with someone else or something new that you didn't know about. Not necessarily that you have to agree with it, but the fact of the matter is at that point, like, you actually have your own personal opinion on it, if that makes sense. I know I speak really quickly, but like when I'm going down, my mind works really quick. It works fast, you know. Sometimes that's a good thing and a bad thing, but there's beauty in the mystery. So I can say that EDX, like, there's beauty in mystery.
Okay, but where are y'all at with like your love and relationships, or what is like a struggle that you guys are going through? Drop that down in the comments, because I'm really interested in just knowing like how other people are feeling about life or where they're at right now. I feel like 2024 has been like, there's been a lot of trying energies. Like, it's been like,
I feel like
a lot of up and
2024 has
down.
definitely been like a wake up call to a lot of things, you know?
Yeah. This is so slow. I can't really see any comments loading.
I don't know if it's like at 60 seconds or not, but
I'd love to read and see where you're at.
Scott, what time is it back home by you?
Letting go of a wife who moved on, doesn't want to settle, and we got 5 children. Oh my God,
Jacob, I'm so sorry, man.
Texas.
Oh my God, 956 text. Oh my God, Jacob.
We just came back from Texas.
I always see you in the comments, all because you say 956 Texas. How are you? Oh, boo, I'm sorry.
Yes. Without darkness, there is
I'm
no light.
sorry. But you know what, Jacob? You know, this could be, you gotta find a silver lining. I was just in Texas, in Dallas for 6 weeks. Breaking generational, absolutely. That's just for real.
Yes.
That's real. That's very real,
breaking
Jacob.
generational.
Yeah. And Charlene, I love that you said that. Without darkness, there is no light. Sometimes you just need to get confronted with your own fears. You know, that was another thing that I did tell this person. And I said to him, I'm like, you know what? It's not that you find yourself in the light, because that's just going to be too easy. You have nothing to learn from that. Like, you have to literally go through the fucking dark pit of the soul in order to find yourself. And in that darkness, you find yourself in the darkness, Charlene. You're absolutely right about that. Because it's in the darkness that you will get strength. It's in the darkness that you are going to get resilience. It is in the darkness that you have to have tenacity, and you have to have grit, and you have to have hustle, and you have to have love for coming out on the other side, because you know that this is not what it is. You know, like, you're trying to get to the next portion or the next part of who you are, or to that feeling finally when you've made it and you've tasted what pure love is like.
Growth and transformation come from the darkness, but you're able to enjoy it when you finally have that light.
Absolutely. Yes. And
but it's hard. Okay, past life karma, Jacob.
Oh, 2:35 by you. Okay, so you are.
Hold on, I just told my
3
sister
hours.
about this. I asked her actually earlier today. I was like, do you think that we had some past life trauma that makes like, because I'm like, in this life, I feel like I've been really good to everybody. Like I'm like, never really did anything that bad to anyone. So yeah, like I've also contemplated, I'm like, in my past life, did God just send me some things that were just messed up, or life was just like, nah, you're about to deal with some things. We were just talking about past life karma earlier.
You know, like I must have been a little motherfucker in my past life, because in this life the Lord definitely has humbled me. I will say that He's definitely humbled me, but also made me grateful for a lot of things too. Like He still has given me a good life, but in a lot of ways, like sometimes He's also giving me a life where like I question a lot of things. And I've also had a lot of hardships too, like a lot of hardships, but nonetheless, like I'm still here, I'm still sane, I'm still working to be a better person, I'm still dealing with my own demons, I'm still coping with my own past, but I'm trying, you know what I mean? So that, for that, like He's been graceful to me.
I'm doing it for me. I absolutely have to. Trying to shed a person and they don't want to be shed. Light up that Palo Santo, open a window so the energy can go.
Yeah, because you still have a soul tie, Scott.
Gotta break it, remove all the stuff, get rid of it.
You still have things. That's a soul tie that you're dealing with right now. Jacob, what part of Texas are you from? No, Scott, that's like 100%. Like that's what you're dealing with. Like you've had a soul contract with that person, but you still have a soul tie to that individual, and that is something that you have to either cut cords with in order to truly like feel released from it, because you still feel a lot of that person's strongholds affecting you, and I can feel that. I sense it and I know it.
Yeah, it hinders you from being able to move on, or like being able to move
or
on
even
fully.
Have someone else come into your life that you're supposed to be on your journey or your path with. Do you know what I mean? Because it'll keep you stuck. Like that soul tie that you have with that person will keep your other person from coming into your life. This whole world is energy. We're all molecules put together, and we equal what looks like, you know, this like amazing shell and stuff like that, you know. But the thing about it is like energy. What's the line that you always say about energy? Like it doesn't die.
Oh, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It's just you can transmute it to something else. Like it can go into something else. But that's like one of the laws of physics. And like if that has been proven, then we know that no matter what, the energy just stays with us. We are the people that actually have to transmute it into someone else. That means we have to like believe in alchemy, because you have to be able to take the negative and turn it into a positive. You have to be able to fuel the pain and bring.
But you've also got to be able to fuel real change, not temporary change, but real change.
But you have to use that pain to turn it into something beautiful, to turn it into something good. You have to change the pain.
Charlize said we're all stardust.
Pretty much.
Naturally, yep.
Jacob, I don't know where the heck the Valley area or Rio Grande. Maybe we were in Dallas. Dallas is so big. I have no idea where the hell that is.
You were, I don't know where Sullivan City is.
I was confused while I was there. I should have known.
Because Dallas is so huge. Like I don't know. I've been into San Antonio too, but I don't know where Sullivan City is. By the border. Oh, you down in Texas?
Yeah, never.
Okay. You like real
I'm like,
Texas.
let's meet up. But yeah, that's.
You're like real Texas. Okay. You're like real Texas. I love that.
Is anyone in here like trying to shed a past connection or past lover?
We all trying to shed past lovers.
Well, no, there are some people that are
Tex-Mex, yes,
connected to loving connection, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. Hold on. You said, all my life I like fans.
I don't know what that means. Energy, frequency, vibration. At this age, yeah, we're all attuned to the energy, the frequency, and the vibration you have to be. Because I am not 369. Oh yeah. Oh my God, I love that because I've been actually like reading a lot about the sequence of like the frequency of what 369 is supposed to mean in the universal code. So I love that.
Do you all know how to manifest in 369?
Mm-hmm.
You can manifest in 369 too. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Jacob, your ass, you know
You're
your
on
shit.
it.
What have you been doing? Yeah. Are you serious, Scott? I would never imagine because Texas is huge.
Wait, AK?
He's in Alaska. Scott's from Alaska.
Yeah, I knew his name. I'm woke too.
Yeah, you are
I
woke
have to
for
be,
sure.
I love that.
You're definitely woke. You ain't never lied. You ain't never slept.
Alaska. What the heck is it like living in Alaska? I've always wanted to visit. I don't know why. I'm just interested. But it just seems so remote and reclusive. But beautiful. Very beautiful. Jacob, what's your zodiac sign? I'm just curious.
He's a Leo.
Oh my God, there's so many Leos in here. Yeah, I meditate too. You have to meditate. You gotta ease the mind. Like, it's all about connectivity. Oh my God, yeah, she said you were Leo. That is so interesting. Everybody here is like almost all Leo. You got Leo love. I like it. Did you just dump out my drink?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Nobody wastes good liquor. Like, what is wrong with her? This girl throwing out my drink and I made it with love. Is it too sweet?
No,
oh, you don't like club soda?
No, not in my. No.
Sorry. I was trying to make it less sweet.
Like, I was gagging. I can't. It wasn't bad, but I just couldn't think of the club soda. I can't do it.
Oh, wow. So you fish and hunt for your own food. That's so awesome.
Scott does that?
Yeah. That sounds so awesome. We're in Chicago, so we don't know anything about that.
Tell him that I like fresh salmon. But
But-
send it to me.
I mean, it's so interesting. I love like the whole living off the earth. I was born and raised in. Oh, okay. What took you to Alaska then? New York to Alaska is a very different thing. But anyway. How are y'all feeling about your lives? Like, what's the energy you guys are feeling? Because lately, I just feel like everything that's been happening in general, I feel like there's just so much energy of change. But the energy of change is just so uncomfortable. Like, how are y'all feeling? Because I know I've been talking with her about it, and we've both been feeling like a lot of change. But change makes you so uncomfortable, you know?
Massive changes.
Right. But it's good because everyone needs to progress, move on, to change. But I'm just wondering if other people are feeling that too, or having those like weird experiences in their lives. Come check it out. It's gorgeous. Oh, I have heard of, yeah, a lot of people say that it's gorgeous. 72nd largest city in the U.S. Huh. Okay, but what's like the nice time to visit Alaska? Yeah, being in nature is miraculously healing. And Alaska is just like so compared to a major city, it's just not as developed. And sometimes I feel like that's where we need to be, like in nature and peace, like actually just like in connection with energy flow. That's why we have like, or at least I love to have a ton of plants and bring people plants because it's a good energy connection. Know thyself. Yeah. Yeah, Jacob, you're absolutely right. But know thyself is so much harder in today's day and age. A lot of people don't know themselves, and that's why so many people end up hurt. It's because they don't know themselves, trying to heal themselves, trying to live life, but not heal themselves electively. And that is why Like a lot of people just, I hate to say it, but I would love to just get back to like the basics of life, because I feel like that's where we would all find like more connection, desire, and fulfillment in life. Oh wow. It's a place of healing and bounty. Yeah. I've heard so much about Alaska. That sounds awesome. Like now I actually really want to go. Yeah. Who doesn't love freedom? I'd love to be free. A couple years ago, I just quit my job, never looked back. As a carpenter. Oh my god. I build furniture too. I just like it, but that's awesome that you're a carpenter. Salmon are the best. I bet they're actually healthy. Apparently, like I've heard a lot that Alaska, like waterways and stuff, is just like way better and cleaner than what we have. I'm sure it is. Jacob, it's hard to do the work and healing. Trust me. This, like the work and the healing is like a lifetime. You got to be dedicated to it for a lifetime because it never stops. But I mean, I guess that's the beauty of it too. But it's difficult for sure. Where are we at? I'm just reading some of the chats. Does anyone have any questions or any conversations they want to talk about?
That's how we change the vibration. Y'all right.
There's so much to it though. Like guys, I hate to say this, but like I'm a big third eye, like wanna like, you know, actually harness your third eye. But there's so much that like keeps the third eye hindered. Like the third eye is the pineal gland, but like when you think about it, like most of the water that we have in the US is saturated with fluoride. So it's the toothpaste, so it's other little sources, even like the water that we buy at the grocery store. And fluoride in the water actually like closes off your pineal gland because it desensitizes it. So it's like, you know, you can try to activate it by meditation and stuff, and that absolutely is possible, but there's a lot of other things that you have to do. Like for me, I have a water filtration system and it's expensive, but I don't want fluoride. Like I don't really want my body or whatever to be touching fluoride, just so that I can like have that extra.
We trust clarity. You, Scott.
Sorry. That was a rant. Sorry, guys. I'm a rabbit hole girl. Oh, that's so sweet. You got 3 bedrooms.
She's ready to go.
I love travel. I gotta be on I like to keep it moving.
Yes, Charlene, yes. Absolutely.
In a way.
No, because your third eye is what sees it comes. It sees it coming. It's bigger than you.
Yes and no. I always feel like your intuition in general is like your spirit connecting, your energy source, your spirit guides like connecting with you to give you like that actual feeling. But the third eye can manifest a lot of different things. It can manifest visions. It can manifest like high dreams. It can manifest that deja vu experiences. So I do feel like it's slightly different. Like the third eye does give you more insight, more premonitions, more like intellect into a lot of different things. Intuition is, I mean, it's similar, but I feel like the third eye is like where people actually see things, because there are drugs that stimulate your third eye so that you have the hallucinations or the feelings of connecting with everything and the energy sources around you. So third eye, higher vibrational source than I think just like regular intuition, which a lot of people don't even pay attention to or aren't connected with. But y'all, I don't like, we don't have to go around the third eye, because I've been like, I'm a psycho about like all the stuff to activate like where you're at and in your mind and what you can connect to. Obviously liquor is not good. I'm drinking it because that kind of like takes you a little bit off, but it's whenever I'm trying to have a good day.
Guys, so we are coming up on what? We're at an hour and almost 20 minutes. So we do have dinner plans at 6. Okay, it's
Where?
6 our time. Okay, and we are gonna come back on again. We're gonna do another live. This is going to be a Leo live, but we're gonna do this around 8:15 to 8:30. So I'm gonna put up the timestamp. Make sure that you check in, notify yourself, so you can get that. You can get the notification for it. So we're gonna come back on between 8:15, 8:30, do a Leo live reading, personal questions, and then literally like we're gonna jump back into these types of questions, really just talking about relationships, where y'all are. And if you are available, then I hope to see you guys back in the live for the Leo reading tonight at 8:15, 8:30. Okay, I'm gonna post it right now, so you guys just notify yourselves, and then I'll let you know. Oh, Charlene, I forgot. You're in the
I'm in a
UK,
different time
right?
zone.
Yeah, you're in the UK, aren't you, Charlene?
I'm on a flight from Colorado to Hawaii. Oh my God, have fun in Hawaii.
Oh
I'm
my
jealous.
God, amazing! Yes.
Send some pictures. I haven't been to Hawaii. I would love to know, but I love Colorado. Or I mean, I was there a couple years ago. Like,
oh my God, yeah, you're in the Netherlands.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
gosh,
Netherlands.
that's
I forgot.
awesome.
You always tell me that, and I'm sorry, love. It's not like I talk to a lot of people, so, but I know that you were not U.S. time.
She says no, I'm not in the Netherlands. Where are you at?
She said no, I'm in the Netherlands.
Oh no, I'm in the. Oh, she says no. Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, so she's in the Netherlands. Yeah. No, I knew you were not like US time. So no, but I'm gonna pop back on between 8:15 and 8:30. I'm gonna put up a live thing or whatever. So those of you all that can check in. Scott, I know it's 2 something your time. Maybe you'll be there.
Better. Sorry. Oh. Hopefully you do feel better.
Oh my God, so you're off. So I better see your ass there tonight, Scott. Between 8:15, 8:30, okay? So for us, that's in about 2 hours. 2 hours. But I have got to go to dinner and get some food. Yeah. Thank you so much, Scott. You were sweet. Charlene, thank you so much. Girl, you have some insight. I like your insight, like amazing. Jacob, you are awesome when it comes to just kind of like you're definitely like also in tune. Like I love just really just bouncing ideas off of you guys. It means a lot. Thank you, Charlene. Maui days, huh? Love it. Love it.
You've
love
been
it.
everywhere.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna end this right now. And then I'll be back on tonight for a Leo live, 8:15 to 8:30. I'm gonna put up the notification for you guys. Make sure to join. This has been a freaking awesome, I don't know, rant, candid conversation. That's how I feel it is. And
it's ending at 555, so that's a lot of change and different
transformation for sure. Thanks for pointing that out.
I see the numbers all the time.
But yeah, if you guys can come back in tonight, let's do it. I'd love to catch up, chat some more with you all, and really hear some insights. You guys are fucking awesome. Oh, she's gonna be here. I'm gonna bring her too. I'm gonna bring her back for the Leo live because I'm gonna make her read too.
I don't like to read when I drink.
No, we're gonna get 2 perspectives from the readings. We're gonna get 2 readings. So Leo, it's gonna be a special one. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. If you have not, and then I will see you guys later in just a little bit. Bye, guys. Bye, y'all. And Scott, she'll be there.
Not reading.
Bye, Charlene.